While she may be pitch-perfect, scene-stealing fat Amy to most of the world, Rebel Wilson has been rocking her uniquely infectious rebelliousness since way back. She's as confident as she is funny, as daring as she is down-to-earth, as raucous as she is earnest. And as she deadpans brilliantly with just the slightest flicker of a smile, she's decidedly won over the hearts of fans worldwide. But while she may be jet-setting to Ibiza and cherry-picking her projects in Hollywood these days, the road to success hasn't always been a smooth one. Here's the stunning transformation of Rebel Wilson. A shy little girl. Born on March 2, 1980 in Sydney, Australia, Wilson grew up with siblings Liberty, Anarchy, and Riot in the loving care of her professional beagle breeder parents. As perhaps the first inklings of humor sparked inside her, on the outside, the budding starlet was anything but precocious. Wilson told Marie Claire, "I was so unusually shy, bordering on a social disorder. So my mom, one day she drives me to this community acting class. I was holding on to the car door and crying. She had to peel me off the car. She's like, 'I'll pick you up in 2 hours,' and she left me." That might seem like an odd parenting choice, but it must have worked. The once timid little girl developed her wicked confidence early, pushing herself to speak up more and even join the debate team. At 17, Wilson spent a year working for Australia's Rotary International Youth Ambassador Program. It would be during one of the organization's trips to South Africa that she would contract malaria, then hallucinate in a fever dream about winning an Oscar. That was when the acting bug also bit her. When she returned home, she attended University of New South Wales as well as the Australian Theatre for Young People, where she would find her footing on the stage. She wasn't aiming for comedy at first, but found that she had a knack for making people laugh, even when she didn't mean to. Across the pond. After finding success at home with breakout roles in Pizza and Vogue and Pride, the Aussie actress moved to West Hollywood in 2010 at 30 years old. Wilson told Cosmopolitan, "Being unique and different was a really good thing. When I walked into my agent's office for the first time, they looked at me and said, 'Wow, we have nobody on our books like you,' and they signed me on my second day in the US." Just after jumping on board with talent house William Morris Endeavor in 2010, she got what would become her breakout role. Kristen Wiig's weirdo roommate Bryn in the raunchy comedy Bridesmaids. Refreshingly atypical of a rising Hollywood star, Wilson told the magazine, "I wouldn't ever want to compete with what I call the glamours, the really gorgeous people. I'm about the brain, the heart, and what's on the inside. I feel really lucky to be the body type I am." And all of America was just about to discover who she really was. Horizontal running. Although her oddball antics in Bridesmaids and What to Expect When You're Expecting earned Wilson some attention, it was her turn as Amy in the quirky musical comedy Pitch Perfect that would make her a household name. She went from the girl working at a movie theater where her breakout role was playing to A-lister in just a few short years. But she's managed to keep a good head on her shoulders. She told Cosmo, "Even though, yes, now I am in movies or whatever, I am still that dorky girl. People think you're really confident because you're an actress or whatever, but I'm like the worst." She also still supports the Tanzanian school in Africa where she once lived as a youth ambassador and finances scholarships for the Australian Theatre for Young People that gave her that initial start. Having earlier been awarded a Nicole Kidman-funded scholarship to Chicago's Second City, Wilson's making the most out of paying it forward. A whirlwind romance. Admittedly private about her personal life, then 35-year-old Wilson's fans were abuzz when she posted selfies of her new main squeeze, filmmaker Mickey Gooch Jr., confirming the two were an item in May of 2015.
I'm an open book. I mean, for God's sake, you guys have got me Fat Amy.
But the couple split just 4 months later, just as Gooch was shooting scenes for Wilson's How to Be Single, where he would play her date. But Wilson wasn't looking for a rebound. She shared in Cosmopolitan, "I'm very independent and have been single for most of my life. I see people who are very codependent and I think they're missing out on life. I'm hoping the right guy will come along, but if it doesn't happen, I'm all right. I'm a very independent lady and I've got my own stuff going on." Yeah, like a lot of stuff. While most of her childhood friends and even her sister have gotten married, even a successful actress like Wilson has to put up with those pesky relationship status questions. She told Flair, "Interestingly enough, I caught up with some of my girlfriends from high school when I was back in Australia, and a lot of them weren't very happy with their situations and were envious of mine. I'm definitely not lonely in any way. I love being by myself."
That looks like a whole bowl of petrified curly fries.
It's like Gandalf is staring right at me. No penis shall pass!
a clothing line, and an ego boost. In 2015, Wilson launched a collaboration with plus-sized brand Torrid to bring fans and fashionistas alike a taste of her signature style. Wilson told E! News that she was initially unsure of her ability to step into the role of a fashion designer, saying, "I didn't think I'd be able to design clothes. I thought, that's not in my repertoire." But it was. Finally comfortable in her own clothes, she's got a lot more than just great style in mind for her line. Sharing her inspiration with InStyle, she said, "I want people to be a rebel in their own lives. I've always been a nonconformist. That's actually what my high school principal wrote in my final school report. I want this energy to rub off on other people and encourage girls and women out there to go out and crush it in their lives." She also told Marie Claire that while other actresses might see being plus-sized as a disadvantage, she regards her figure as a plus. "I've always tried to use my brain to get places." Nose to the grindstone. Wilson has also said that she feels lucky to be a woman on the comedy scene. She told Flair, quote, "Now that more writers are getting a chance to create these scripts, it's just more edgy. Girls are often relegated to just being the love interest in a guy's movie, which is a waste." For years, the bombshell gleaned inspiration from legendary comedians like Jennifer Saunders and admits that being a woman in a male-dominated industry is an uphill battle. She told Elle, "You aren't being paid much, you don't have any cool jokes, and you're there to support the male actor. If you are a woman in that situation, you work harder, sharpen your skills more. You need to be 2 or 3 times as good as the guys. I just go in there and try and crush it." And that's exactly what she does.
Crushed it.
She's gonna keep hustling. With Pitch Perfect 3 slated for a late 2017 release and an all-female reboot of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels on deck, Wilson's excited about creating even more female-driven projects in the near future. And the comedy powerhouse might even try on some feature-length drama, telling Glamour, "I've started to get offers for more serious roles, and when I trained as an actor, you don't just train in comedy, of course." Someone who I really admire is Robin Williams, who is such a genius comedian, but when he did dramatic roles, they were such good dramatic turns. So yes, I'm sure there's something around the corner. Whatever her next project happens to be, it's sure to have Wilson's signature stamp all over it. With her genuine confidence, that wicked sense of humor, and a one-of-a-kind, saucy personality, Wilson's bringing all of us along for the ride of a lifetime. Thanks for watching. Click the list icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.